Om Shanti and a very good morning from Aberdeen Hindu Temple. Today we're on a journey, and so I have a very special guest, Sister Louisa Gupta, who's going to hold the meditation today. So, Sister Gupta, thank you.
Okay, good morning and welcome to this half-hour meditation on this beautiful morning. I think it's everywhere, sunshine, so nice and warm. And I'd like to share this morning about the mind, the intellect, the third eye. So the mind, what is the mind? We all have a mind and we all think, but sometimes there's a lot of fluctuation. We're not sure what's going on in there in my mind. And in Raja Yoga, we learn about thoughts. We learn how to use the mind in a very beneficial way. And so what I'd like us to do is to explore this aspect when we talk about the eye of the mind. Why do we talk about the eye of the mind? The eye of the soul? Because we use this and we call it the intellect, not that it's to do with intellectual, but to do with the aspect of being able to see, to understand, to see what we don't necessarily see with the physical eyes. We're using this eye, and that's why it's called the third eye, to see the things that are spiritual, to see things that are important. And especially nowadays, when there is so much turmoil and so much upheaval, so much confusion, so much uncertainty, it's very useful to be able to see something that is beneficial, something is positive. And just as when we talk about reading in between the lines, now how can you read in between the lines? What we mean is we are seeing or understanding something that is not clearly visible, that is not in front of us in a physical way. So here we're using the third eye, or the eye of the mind, the eye of the soul, the intellect, to be able to see things that are beneficial. Now we know in the mind can wander in all many different directions. We can sometimes be happy in the mind. We can sometimes be unhappy in the mind. And we know that the mind goes like a wild horse in many different directions. And so we have to train the mind. And we do this through the intellect. First of all, we have to observe, we have to become aware what is going on in my mind. In other words, we have to observe, what am I thinking? Because we're not always aware of what's going on in the mind until suddenly we realize, what was I thinking? Where did I go? What is going on there? And then we use this eye of the mind, the intellect, to observe. It's like the rudder of the ship. You know, the rudder is such a small thing. It can steer us in, it can steer the ship in a direction away from the rocks, or if it's not being used properly, it can steer us straight for the rocks. And then we know what happens. We come aground. And so we have to learn to use this eye of the mind, the intellect, in a very beneficial way. And for that, we need guidance. We need guidelines. We need something that we can call the spiritual compass. And what is that spiritual compass? It has to be the energy of goodness, pure goodness. In other words, what we call the energy of the Supreme Being, that absolute energy of goodness, that is pure love, that is total peace, that is complete harmony, wisdom. And so when we observe our thoughts and we find that there is something that is not quite as it should be, we can think about, well, what does peace, what does harmony, what does pure love mean to me? And it's very useful when we are able to bring into our awareness this aspect of goodness. What do I see through my eyes, the physical eyes? If they're not trained to see something beneficial, then that's when the mind becomes full of worry, full of care, full of negativity. And of course, this is the energy that drains the whole system. It drains the mind, and I feel tired and despondent. And of course, that is what has an effect on the body. Why is there so much illness these days? Because the mind is not well. And any amount of therapies out there to help us become healthy in mind is the saying, healthy mind brings about a healthy body. And so I have to train my mind to see things that are beneficial. And how do I do that? When I see lots of things not to my liking, I see things that shock me, I see things that I feel I want to change. And this is where we go back to the guidelines, to think that everything is beneficial in some way or another. Everything. And the rationale for that is, if I don't think this way, then where am I headed? Straight to the rocks. I have to use the rudder of my mind to steer me into the open sea and set the sails that are going to take me to the correct destination. And so it's not wishful thinking. I know that something is not beneficial. I know there are problems. I know that there are lots of things that are not to my liking. But I am choosing to find something that is beneficial. I am choosing to change what seems to be a pebble into a diamond or a pearl or something valuable. And that is the analogy of pure wisdom, isn't it? The goddess of wisdom, Saraswati, who was able to find and use her intellect to such a degree that she was able to be wise even when there were things that are troublesome, and it seemed to be in a situation that there was no wisdom in it, no meaning, no rationale. And so that is why, of course, there is the analogy of the swan that's able to pick up pearls and not pebbles, to be able to separate water, separate milk from the water. Now, how can you do that if there's a mixture? But with the eye of wisdom, the eye of the intellect that is connected to the divine, the intellect is connected to pure goodness, we can see how, if there is goodness, benefit in everything, I'm able to see beyond, not what the physical eyes are seeing, but I'm able to see the bigger picture. I'm able to see that there are things I wasn't maybe aware of to begin with. I'm able to see that everyone and everything has a contribution to make in this world. I'm able to develop the awareness that with the bigger picture, there is a principle to everything. There is a rationale for everything, that everything works in its own good time. It's no good planting a seed and expecting it to sprout the next minute. Nature doesn't work like that. Everything has a time, and then there has to be the water and the food of good energy, and then the plant will grow and will give me good fruit. And it's no good trying to eat unripe fruit. I have to wait till the fruit has ripened fully. So what I'm learning to do is to develop this mind that lets go of anything that is not beneficial. I let it go. You know, there's the expression, let go and let God, or let the universe take care of things. Because if everything is beneficial, then there has to be an energy that will bring everything to its right fruition. And now that we are in an age of tremendous turbulence, we're in an age in which there are many confusing things. We call this age the confluence age, in which the energies of goodness and the energies of harm are mixed. The old has to give way to the new. And whenever there's confluence, you know, the confluence of the rivers, that's what there is. There's turbulence. And you can't always see what is the old and what is the new. But again, where are my sights set? I'm setting my sights on what is new, what is beneficial. I'm seeing that the old has to give way to the new. And so I let it go. I let everything that is harmful, everything that is not beneficial, I let it go. And now, when I'm setting my sights on the new, I'm setting my mind to only think those thoughts that are beneficial, that are happy thoughts, that just as we wait for the dawn to give way to the new day, we wait and in anticipation for the new day to come, and we feel that excitement that there is tremendous opportunity. I have the opportunity to use my mind in a worthwhile way. I have the opportunity to use my thoughts in a worthwhile way. And so now I set my sights to observe with the eye of the intellect. What am I thinking? Is it beneficial to me? Is it beneficial to other people? Is it beneficial to nature? Because nature is also suffering. Am I treading lightly on the ground, not causing sorrow to nature? Am I having good wishes and good thoughts to everyone? Am I feeling that feeling of love and compassion, even to people and to things that are causing me sorrow? Because I have to change that energy around. Do I really want to go on feeling upset? Do I really want to go on feeling miserable? Do I really want to feel the anger and the resentment? Because that, first of all, will cause harm to me. And so I bring these thoughts into my mind, the thoughts that everything is good, even if I can't see it. It's good in some way. Somehow or other, And this is what the divine sees. Just like the sun will shine on the good and the bad, and what is good and what is bad anyway. The farmer may want it to rain, and the holiday maker may want to have sunshine. So what is beneficial? We have to see that this is a world in which there are many different types of experiences, but good will always prevail when there is the connection with the source of goodness. So let us now go into a meditation to reflect, first of all, on the goodness of the self. So sitting comfortably, turning the thoughts within, feel the energy of the self flowing within. Feel the energy that's flowing all around. The heart goes on beating. All the organs of the body go on working. They are working to benefit. Even if I eat something that is not beneficial, somehow or other, the organs will take corrective action. And so I can remain assured that the body is this wonderful instrument that works for benefit. Even when there is discomfort, it is the body that is telling me something is not quite right. The body is giving a message, and that I need to rest maybe, or I need to change something. And then the body is a natural healer. So I remain carefree. I don't need to worry if there is any discomfort. Of course, I have to use my intellect, the eye of wisdom, to know what is the right medicine to apply, what is the right medicine to put into my body. And there are any number of therapies and medications out there. And so, seeing the bigger picture, I go into my inner silence. I go into the state that is called mindfulness. I go into that stage in which I feel the pulse of my own inner being. And my own inner being says silence, stillness. Cast aside any worries. Everything works for benefit. I know that I am an eternal, immortal spark of pure conscient light energy. I have awareness, very special kind of awareness. I have awareness that I am a beautiful being, a child of the Supreme Being. And so I feel the energy of the self, the energy of stillness, of silence, and feel this energy restoring the whole system of myself, bringing, as it were, balm to the mind, and balm to the body. For as the mind is peaceful, I can send that energy to the body to make it peaceful too. And I send this energy not just to the body, but to all those in contact with me, the energy of peacefulness, the energy of just letting go. Everything happens at the right time. There is a time of happiness, there is a time of sorrow, as in the song. There is a time when there is night, there is a time when there is day. It is an eternal cycle. That is the energy of the universe. And if good things don't last, neither do bad things. And so I feel the energy of my own inner goodness. I am a being of not just peace, but I am a being of harmony, of happiness, of wisdom. And I know that my inner wisdom tells me, keep your mind filled with goodness. Bring pictures of happiness, pictures of well-being into your mind. Feed your mind with goodness, just as we feed the body with good food. We feed the mind with good thoughts, with good pictures, pictures of happiness. For there are many things that I cannot change. I cannot change the weather. I cannot change what is going on. But I can send out good wishes. I can send out that feeling, that energy of benefit, the energy of stillness, the energy of silence. We all love silence. We all love peace. And so I'm learning to be peaceful and still, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of disturbing scenes. For I know that what is eternal, that lasts forever. That is what truth is. Truth never becomes untruth unless I distort it. And truth is always beneficial. I know that God is beneficial. God only gives the energy of benevolence, because it is not possible for there not to be anything of harm that comes from the source of goodness. Goodness is goodness. Peace brings peace. Happiness brings happiness. And light, the light of spirituality, brings the day from the night of darkness. And so I have to fill my mind with thoughts of benefit, like invoking goodness. I'm invoking this energy of bringing the light of love, the light of peace, the light of stillness. I'm invoking that by how I think. And so I use these thoughts to bring benefit all around. That energy of stillness. So let us feel this stillness, this energy of peace. Feel how all the knotted tension gets smoothened out. Let go and let goodness. Breathe in that energy of goodness. Breathe out all the things that are harmful and disturbing. They're not part of me, not part of my life. I recognize and see myself as I am, this being of pure goodness. I see myself in these terms, my higher self, that higher self that is pure love, that is pure peace. And when I radiate this energy, it makes me feel good, and it brings about some goodness all around, some benefit that goes to where it is needed. I don't need to worry. I sow seeds of goodness, send out the seeds of thoughts of goodness, and they will sprout somewhere. The universe will pick them up and blow them to where they are needed, to where they can sprout and grow and give the good fruit of happiness and well-being. Om Shanti.
So that was a wonderful opportunity to have Sister Louisa from Edinburgh. And so take these thoughts and this meditation into your week and enjoy going into that stillness and enjoy into becoming the master of your own mind. And life changes, and whatever is stressful, whatever is difficult, whatever is upsetting, just eases out and everything becomes good. So thank you very much, Sister Louisa. That was wonderful. So wishing you a very good week. Om Shanti. Bye-bye. Have a good week. That was beautiful.